Hey everybody, it's that time again. It's Wednesday. This is gonna be the last Wednesday stream, everybody. It's gonna go to Mondays next. In the new saddle year. That'll be in a couple weeks. No stream next week. No stream week after. I'll be in Mexico for both of them. So this is the last stream of Saddlebag Year 1, which is why the item that we're making tonight is going to be the first item in Saddlebag Year 2, which is crazy, super cool. Check out my hair on my other monitor here. So you guys want to make this kind of like spinal column-y whip, which is pretty cool. We're gonna see. I was doing like some sketches earlier when I saw the likely outcome of the vote of spinal columns. So hopefully this should go off pretty well without a hitch. Those of you who are hanging out on Discord and the workshop channel know that I've been illustrating stuff all day. So I've already kind of I've got those juices going. So I kind of just want to roll into this. All right, Blastoise. Leafy Boy, Blastoise. Okay. Here, let me get our friends out. Also, did any of you guys on Instagram see the like the card promos I put out today? Actually, I haven't actually checked the analytics on those. Hopefully they did well. I'll check them right now. So if you're new to the stream, or if you're returning, how we start is we vote on a starter Pokemon for us to start the stream with. So is it going to be, you can either write it down Squirtle or Blastoise or Charmander or Charizard, whatever. But who's our starter, everybody? Whoever we pick will have a complimentary kind of like scientific poster of their evolutions back there too, and it will stay here until the next stream. So your choices have impact. And I see Zap is here, so Zap is going to do a good job keeping track of everything, because otherwise I can't math very well. Check these analytics. Okay. Not too bad, actually. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I'll get in touch with Ricardo from Deck of Many and see like how many decks sold. It'd be cool if we had several. But Green Boy. So we got a red and a green and a blue boy. Votes. Yeah, Bradley, cards are shipping right now. Volumes 1 and 2, and once we sell 300 of 1 and 2, that will it'll pay for the initial investment from Deck of Many, and they will feel comfortable getting packs 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, whatever in the future. We just need to show them that there's interest, right? So yeah, they're shipping right now. If you're interested in want to support the cards, and they're beautiful. Like they printed really nicely. Yeah, they're printing right now. And once we have it, and like I said, once we have enough of them sold, get more of them. Look at them. These guys, all these oldies. Yeah. But they feel really good, and the colors turned out really nicely on them. Yeah, they feel really nice to hold. And to hand that to your players. All right, Bradley, thank you. Thank you, Saddlebot. That is incredibly timely. All right, so it's looking like we're going grass this week, everybody. Let's stick with good old Pokemon number 3 in the Pokedex, Venusaur. 1, 2, and 3, I should clarify. You can totally see my lunch bowl from that camera. Move it over there. Cool. Heck yeah, Venusaur is right. All right. Let's get motoring, guys. Let's make a spinal column, huh? If you are wondering, today we're listening to Super Lo-Fi World by Game Chops. Sure, like a group of remixers and what's it called, like BitTunes, like BitTune creators that remix or use classic games as their source. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate that. I haven't gone to a hairstylist or I almost said butcher. That's not the right word. I haven't gotten my hair cut professionally in a couple years. Just I use clippers at this point. I can do it pretty quick, and I don't have to tip myself, which is great. So let's get started, guys. Let's make some stuff. And I wanted like a cleaner cut, like a more like a cooler temperature-wise cut, because I'm going to Mexico next week for like a week, and it's pretty toasty there. We're going to La Paz, the west coast peninsula tip of Mexico, and it's gonna be great. I'm excited about it. Let me change my scene here and get going. Okay, so let's actually just go out the gate with some color, just kind of get started here. And I'm gonna have it set to multiply from the start. Now this is just kind of, I'm gonna be doing this in, how should I express that? Oh, you know what we can do? Let's be smart. Let's be smart about this. Let's move my microphone more than an inch away from my face. Let's try this first. Let's change our spacing, just so we can get a sense of kind of like the segmentation of these, and then we can go from there. Not enough. Also, why do I still have transfer on? Go away. Spacing. Less spacing. Yeah, we can do that. That works. Okay. Will that work? Is that the right move? I think I'm just going to do this manually. The edgiest layer name. Yeah, if you guys want, you can make suggestions for what to name layers. I'll do that for you. That sounds like fun. Okay, so let's just say that our shape is going to be something like that, right? And we can actually that's actually a pretty good shape. So we can just have our handle be here, like that. Actually, we're gonna have like some perspective here, so this is gonna be getting bigger towards us. Getting an idea of kind of what our... I'm making this look like a regular whip to start, and then we'll get about like to segmenting it after that. The good news is that most of these are going to be fairly much like pretty much the same size of vertebrae, so we don't have to take that much into account too much. You know, because then if we had like multiple sizes of vertebrae, plus perspective, plus kind of tapering off towards the end, like that's just a whole lot, you know. Embedded into your skin, no handle? I think that you would want a handle to hold it the first time, and then it could like do something gross. I mean, again, the mechanics are still kind of like very vague at this point. We know that it gets stronger, or like it develops charges the more blood that it siphons from creatures that you hit. But as to what those perks are, yet to be seen or discussed, really. The blowgun suggestion was good. I liked that. But I felt that the whip was a bit more interesting. I mean, just like visually. So I'd be totally fine like making a kind of like blood transfusion kind of mechanic where after you collect like 5 charges, let's say, you can use it to heal or gain temporary hit points. A gem that looks like a stick. Oh my god, you guys are gross. I mean, I guess it is Halloween. I should bite my tongue. Ew. Oh my god. Now we're looking at Naruto for influence. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like that's about on point. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Cool. Gets longer, sure. Could do that. Now the question is, do we want, like, how do we want the very tip of this? The very tip of this should actually probably just be like a singular bone, because vertebrae don't get that small. Also, an early shout out to my father, who's watching and is a chiropractor and is looking for for me to make my vertebrae look all wrong. So early apologies for when I inevitably do that. I'm going to change the shape of this a little bit. Pretty sure this music or this song was from Chrono Trigger. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. So the handle is like honestly the least of my concerns. The handle's gonna be super easy. Thinking about the kind of position that I want this whip to be in. Oh, that's dramatic. I like that. We'll do that. Okay. So let's turn back on my pressure sensitivity. Put on multiply here. And I'm going to pixel lock this so I can draw like crazy and not go outside the lines. I'm just going to be using this to make some kind of rough ideas on segmentation. And we're going to start really rough and we're going to go back through and we're going to make them cleaner and cleaner as we go. A barbed tip, sure, that makes sense. I gotta look up Bone Delft real quick, because I forget how they like. Actually, have my monster manual over there. I'll get the manual. Yeah, definitely have like some kind of muscle and gore and some kind of like red, like a ligamenty or stretchy, fleshy bits connecting it. For sure. Tailbones do kind of look scorpion taily. I was looking at them earlier. Oops. So, yeah, here. Let me pull these out. Muscle fibers. Yeah. You know words. There you go. So, this guy right there. I mean, you can see from this front view that it's like fairly wide. So, it'd be a bit more bludgeony, but the actual like the arc of it is right. I think that right now like a tipped, like a barbed tip would make the most sense, like for a vampiric weapon like this. Let me get my. Actually, you know what? You guys aren't gonna be able to see it if I get my book, so let me just do this. We'll do this. Okay, see, it just kind of like splintery. That's cool, we can do that. Just a syringe duct tape to the end, sure. Okay, so again, we're gonna worry about the actual handle later. So we're going to be focusing on making these into like kind of coins first. And these are like already too thick. Oh boy. So essentially think of these as kind of like bone coins. We're gonna be doing that. Making bone coins. And then we're gonna put these, and then we're gonna put the little like splay little hook bits on each one of them. We're gonna do the hook bits and like we're gonna be doing these in varying levels of detail depending on like kind of where we want the eye to focus. So probably more towards the handle and tip. Yeah, so I think we can just kind of go ahead and itch my nose. Just kind of like assume they're going to put some barbs on this. Sure. This is a very chill Pokemon Gym music song. Okay, so that's not pretty. We'll come back to it later. Like that's probably the kind of thing that we're gonna do last, because like I'm gonna want to put time into that. But the thing that's gonna take us the most amount of time are like just the vastness, like the pure number of vertebrae that we have to do. So we're just gonna focus on that. I'm gonna say that our light source is kind of above us, which is why I'm putting these shadows on the bottom. Oh, I want to give this YouTube link to one more person. Thank you for your patience. Oh man, look at you guys posting shit. Well, that's really gross. Yeah, I'm opening up some of these images that you're linking, boss. All right. Hi, what? What's up, Zap? Oh yeah, muscular and MHA, sure. Bone Devil. Okay, sorry. You might have said that, but my my pea brain forgot. Oh yeah, that's gross. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. These are all enlarged. So this apparently already exists in, real life, which is cool. Ew. But yeah, we're doing this. This is what we're doing. I'm just gonna copy this image. Just gonna paste it right in there. Just gonna tuck it right there. And do the same thing over here. And this is really cool. This is like all this metal segments on top of this kind of leather rope. Excuse me. And let's get this image. And we'll tuck that. Oops. We'll tuck. Copy. Why are you not copying? Open image in new tab. Copy. There you go. Tuck you right there. Cool. All right, so let's get back onto our spine. Now, because this is magical, we can afford to have these, bits of spine actually like connected, with like what's it called? Like the tissue between vertebrae. Yeah, whatever it's called. Spongy stuff. So I hate to tell you guys, but this is just going to be a lot of me just kind of going down the line, and we're just going to be getting kind of nitty and gritty with these. So buckle up. Let's get going. Actually, before we do that though, I want to put on a light source. I want to get some some lights in here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of going through, and like none of these look great or good even. But what I am doing is I'm getting a variance in value with lights and darks by doing this. And then this way, when I go down the line, I don't have to be using like an overlay or soft light or other kind of blending mode when I paint, which will just make it simpler. Because I can just be pulling actual colors as I need them, as opposed to trying to get lighting effects to work the way I'm intending. Cartilage, yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Zap. A few of you may remember a few days ago when I was talking about how Danny is very good at finding treasures in like thrift stores. I am currently wearing my Ugg boots that she found for $5, and they are great. They were unworn Ugg boots for $5, and they are so snuggly. I might show you guys later. I might get my foot up, show them off. They're super snug with 2 G's, obviously. Spinal discs, cool. Yeah, exactly, Brian. They'd never been worn. They had the tags on them. She found those. She found like she said it was like because whenever she finds things that have the tags on them, like she takes pictures of them too. It's like a $200 skirt. Again, for like $5. It's bonkers. She's exceptionally good at it. And there was something else too. She's she's starting up. She's starting to sell them on Poshmark. If any of you are hip and are on Poshmark, you can find her there under Rookhouse Co. ROOK HOUSH. SE. Jesus. Can't spell and draw apparently at the same time. I knew that didn't sound right. Rookhouse. Rookhouse Co. Papa Griffon doesn't have a Google account, so he's just watching. Zap. Hey, Alanisha. Good to see you. Hey, Saint Chai. Good to see you. Welcome. Blood Whoop. Yeah. With the real Papa Griff, please stand up. Poshmark. It is, it's kind of like Etsy, I suppose. But I mean, like, it's reselling. It's like it's an online thrift store. And as people find like really cool stuff, they can just resell it. And like Poshmark takes like a percentage or a flat rate depending on the cost of the item and the degree of luxury that it is. That's it. It calculates like everything for you. It's really cool. And yeah, it's like it's a bumpin' social platform right now. I was really surprised. Hey Darian, happy to see you. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna go back here. Oh, I still got my overlay on. Oops. Get my spine illustrations up here. Wait, that's the wrong. Here we are. Spine, spine, spine. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. So the good news is that I don't think we have to be like too exact about this, especially because we're going to be having like bits and pieces of like muscle fibers, kind of connective tissue between them because you're gross. So I don't have to get too precious with it right now. We'll see. I'm trying to wrap up everything that I can before I go on vacation. So I think that I'm actually going to be going to the Microsoft store tomorrow and buying a laptop, you guys. Pretty exciting. I haven't bought a computer in a long time. Well, I haven't bought a laptop in a long time. My desktop is, I want to say 4 years old. Oh, I'm getting a Surface Book. Is that Shanshai or Sianshai? How do I say that? But yeah, I'm getting a Surface Book. 13.5 inch. The highest specs except for half a terabyte storage because I don't need a full terabyte on that. Shanahi? Shanahi. Okay. Or Shanahi. But yeah, Surface Book. Sean. Okay. Shanahi. Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering that too, Zap. Shanachi? Shanachi. Shanachi? Shanachi. 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 Regardless, yes, thank you. I'm glad you're here and hanging out and enjoying watching the process. This one is gonna be a bit repetitive. This kind of reminds me of when we did the net, the ooze net. That was like fairly repetitive, and then like suddenly at the very end, it was like, oh my gosh, it's like a gooey, oozy net. So we'll see how this goes. I suspect this is gonna be a bit more of like a slow and steady process because you have to kind of go through these and do them all like by hand. with the ooze net, I was able to rely on some layer effects. Sean is fine. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is that was more difficult than I'm proud to admit. Thanks, Sean. See, my middle name is Sean, but I spell it S-E-A-N. And I know another Sean who spells his name a little bit differently than yours too. Oh wait, no, yeah, yours is spelled that way too. Yeah, sorry, I was remembering how you spelled it in your phonetic speech. Yeah, so a friend of mine spells his S-H-A-U-N. But I know plenty of others that are with a W. It's one of those funny names. How many years have I been doing art? I went to college for it. I graduated in 2012. I graduated for design, actually, for like graphic and web and advertising design, and illustration was actually kind of like a thing that I picked up in my last year because I needed more credits. For various reasons, I took an extra semester. And I mean, I've always like illustrated bits and pieces. I did find that during my time in school that I enjoyed making my own like various graphical assets instead of having to rely on things from online, because that's always like a pain and a bit of a crapshoot. So just making your own things from scratch was really helpful. And then I was able to kind of use that as an asset for when I would market myself to people as either an employee or a freelancer, that kind of thing. So I guess to answer your question, like professionally, I've been an artist for 7 years now. But that's kind of like designer and illustrator. This is my first year of doing basically primarily illustration stuff. Although like all my design background has been really helpful. Duplicating that later because there were some translucent bits that I wanted to fill in. So you can see here, this is kind of like, this is what we got so far. And then after we go through the whole rigmarole here, we're gonna go back through and we're gonna do like little wingy bits. It is not a derivation of John. Interesting. I have had other jobs than this. This is my job right now, Sean. Yeah, because of supporters like you know, who've made it possible, for me to do this for you through Patreon. Like this is my full-time job. And I shudder at the thought of having another job on top of this. I left / was forced to leave from my previous job earlier in this year, and it was like a whole big ugly thing, but I'm grateful for it now. It's a bone devil in the background. Yeah, we're gonna be using ideas for the tail for the very tip of this. So just kind of have him there chilling, looking at us, being all cute, being a devil. Support from viewers like you, yeah. If you guys want like more really incredible D&D art though, like make sure to go and support my fellow creators like Che and Peku and Paperforge. Like I'm a garbage illustrator next to them. Like, and I know, and I've said this before, and I've been chastised for saying it by you guys, but it is 100% true. Like, those guys are fucking scary. And I look forward to the day when I can be as incredible as they are. They are truly top notch. But yeah, make sure to go and support those artists if you want more really awesome illustrations. It's been, yeah, Alanisha, it's going to be a year in a couple days. It's really crazy. It's going to be a year of Patreon on December 10th. It's going to be a year of Saddlebag items on Reddit on November 2nd. And everywhere else on the 6th. And that's when year 2 kicks off. New schedule. 5 items a week. Get an NPC every week that uses Saddlebag items. All patrons do. And then everybody is going to be able to vote on an item that they want to see made free each week on Saturdays. So there'll definitely be content every day. Just 5 items, 5 on weekdays items. But have they made bone whips? No, but they've made like bone devils and like bone pits. Like they're, yeah. Thanks, Sean. I am super grateful for your support. Going a little bit off here. My coin spacing was wrong. My vertebra spacing. Ooh, okay, here we go. Okay. So as this absorbs blood from the creatures that it hits, its muscle fibers or its fibers can loosen and stretch, which extends the reach of it by 5 feet each time that you get 5 charges. A mist? Maybe. I mean, like, definitely some splatter. But yeah, like, a lot of red, like, goopy bits and gore, gibs, that kind of thing. Because it is Halloween tomorrow. Yeah, it's Halloween tomorrow. Yeah, probably to a maximum of 20 feet. And I guess I won't. I'll give this like a +1, and I'll give it that like extendo limit thingamajig, and I think that would be very fair. Because it's not as if like whips do a lot of damage, right? It's only a 1d4, so giving it the extra range is fine. Zap, in your game you can get rid of the max. You know me. I gotta be equally fair and balanced. I can't be an anime that just throws reason out the window. I should double check actually Discord, the stream chat channel. Gross. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we can put some kind of like aura around it. Yeah, we can do that. Where'd you go? If it did necrotic damage, we'd have to revisit like the range increase, because range is really useful, right? And we don't want to make this thing like a steamroller. Yeah. And I already have other whips that do extra damage, and I think it'd be kind of fun to do a whip that did that just had an increased range. Zap. If it were a +1 and could go up to 20 feet with 10 charges, that could be rare attunement. I want to say. That sounds right. That sounds right. Make it not a whip to get a strength bonus. I don't know, man. I think that's probably overcomplicating it. I mean, I think it's okay just for a bone whip to be a bone whip. Okay. How about this? If you are concerned about if you're concerned that I'm overestimating the value of reach, I mean, we could have it. I'm hesitant to have it do extra damage, but I'm not hesitant to have it like reduce a creature's speed so that you can kind of snare them from afar, right? Like 20 feet away, you smack them, and then their movement speed's like reduced by 10 feet until the end of the next turn or something like that. So I think that has value. Do I play any games myself? I run a D&D game. I run my own home game on Tuesdays. If you mean video games, I enjoy Overwatch. I've had less and less time to actually like devote to to like really in-depth games. So like MMOs haven't been like a part of my life in years, that kind of thing. But not to say I don't enjoy them. But I'm currently playing through Pokemon Heart Gold again in the evenings if I'm hanging out. What's happening here? I'm hanging out with like Danny in the living room or something like that. Kind of snug up with the pup under a blanket and play Pokemon. Yeah, Zap. It's definitely gonna have a +1. I think it's like a +1 with the bonus to range is what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could say if yeah, you can sacrifice all the charges that you have. Yeah, we can have you like gain let's say 2 hit points for every charge that you have. Like as a bonus action, you can consume the blood charges you have and gain 2 hit points back for each one that you had. Man, I'm loving these Pokemon chill tunes. These are great. I remember this route from, I'm very confident this is like Ruby and Sapphire, Emerald and stuff. Danny's been watching the what's it called? The new Sabrina show. Like the alternate reality Sabrina the Teenage Witch stuff today. And it's been really cool. Like I've caught bits and pieces and it's interesting. Does it come from an actual bone devil? Probably not. No, I think this is going to be a humanoid, just like a humanoid spinal column, or humanoids, plural, many plural, spinal columns. We're making some progress though. Yeah. Oh. Oh no, was I an idiot? I was not an idiot. Okay, good. Sometimes I forget to unpixel lock when I erase things. And that can bite me if I'm not careful. Yeah, exactly. A vampire lord just kind of tore it straight out. How are we doing here? Alrighty, let's smooth some of these guys out. Actually, before we keep on going here, guys, I'm going to ask you to give me a minute. I want to get a drink real quick because it's pretty toasty in here. I got a lot of lights going on in here. So if you guys give me a minute, I'll be right back. Be right back. Okay, I've returned, everybody. Thank you for your patience. So in this case, you get a charge. You get a charge every time you hit a thing. And I was thinking about when I was making my drink, that these charges should last until you take a short rest. So that gives you time to kind of like build it up over the course of it, over like an adventuring day. This is just like water with an electrolyte powder in it. I'm not sure about it getting extra charges if it kills a creature, just because like this is already a fair bit of things you have to keep track of all the time. And so I would just be worried about like giving players too much to keep track of, which is something just to be cognizant of when making items. Like you'll notice like a lot of the items in the DMG are fairly, I mean, they're boring for a reason because they're meant to not be complicated. And I think it's only because we're at like this point in the game where people are comfortable enough with more complex items, that we're seeing, you know, official items coming out that are a bit more complex. But I do think that there is always value in simpler items, because not everybody's going to have the same kind of comfort level or interest in like really deeply mechanical items. And hell, I mean, like everybody forgets half their abilities and traits anyway. So like give them something else that they're going to forget about. So there's definitely value to simplicity. And it also makes it like more applicable to more games too. Because even complex games will run simple items. Man, Mystic as a thing is eye-rolly. I feel similarly about the Mystic that I do about the Artificer. And just like, just a big old ugh. Whatever. Oh, I should probably save this. I'm just going to call this a Blood Whip for now. How would I spell it right? There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking that this would have like a maximum of 10 charges. They get a charge whenever they hit. Maybe if they reduce something to 0 hit points, they get 2 charges. We can say that tentatively. I mean, I'll have to look at it, but I think that has reason. I mean, at this point, I don't really want to add anything else to it, because it's already a +1. You can heal, and it gets extra range and stuff. I think that's plenty. Yeah, Frog, I know. I just don't get it. I don't think it's, if it's anything as to like what they already have in UA, I don't think it's ready at all. And like I think it's just a nightmare. I know that I would not be interested in having anybody play one of those at my table. Maybe I'm just being weird about it, but I'm not interested in having an Artificer. Yeah, Brian, and I feel similarly. I feel similarly about the like I said, about the Mystic that I do about the Artificer. Just like makes things way complicated for no reason. It kind of like falls into this territory. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing? And then if it's doing something, it does it better than other things. And it's the niche wasn't there. It just needed to be a wizard subclass. That's what it needed to be. Just like, that's it. It's already using wizard spells. And like, it would have made it simpler for literally everybody. Just make it a wizard subclass. Everglacier is coming. The items are releasing to Reddit right now. I also have like a more personal distaste for artificers because they mess with the whole like item economy, and like they can just make magic items for fun, and it's bullshit. That's what it is. It's bullshit. It's gonna throw entire economies out of whack. It's so unnecessary. A Griffon run game. Oh, Cortana, I'm not talking to you at all. I don't know. I do not like or care for running games over the internet. So I'm not sure if that's actually going to be a goal. Like the game that I run is at a table. Like I host it here at home with local friends, you know. Are you guys enjoying the stream of me just painting vertebrae after vertebra after vertebra? Like we're getting there. Hey, welcome back, Alex. Yeah, we can see zoom out. Interesting points about the artificer, by the way, guys. This guy's out of the way. This is what we're looking at right now. And then once we get to the bottom here, we're gonna go back up to the top, and we're gonna start putting in the little wingy bits. Oh yeah, did you have a good session, Steph? We've now moved on to Mario. Chill music, by the way. I think if I liked Mario more, I mean, and I definitely do enjoy it. But I owned the first Mario Maker, and I was never really too enchanted with it. But I would really enjoy making like a never-ending series of Mario levels like just a sequential that like that one would lead to the other, and like again just like good quality fun like Nintendo like Mario levels, because all the levels of Mario Maker are just so many of them are just so trolly, or like some of them have like very interesting mechanical twists, but they don't feel like Nintendo made them. And I just kind of want to have like a bounty of really high quality Nintendo like levels. Get that Nintendo polish on them. So if I weren't doing this, in like some alternate timeline, I'm probably doing that. Darian, yeah, it's not going to be one. No, because the but by the time that you were talking about that, I already had those Everglacier items out. But Everglacier stuff can still happen in year 2, so you can look for that then. And I'm glad that it went well, Steph. Oh, Elanisha, that's awesome. You've been DMing since 81, oh my goodness. That's so cool though, Sean, that your daughter's DM for you. That's awesome. You want to play Battle Chef Fighter? I want to make more Battle Chef items. Because I feel as though like proficiency with cooking utensils and stuff like that gets like incredibly underutilized, you know? I would love there to be like more interest in being proficient with those. Oh yeah, Whistle Hunter. Sorry, Darian, you'll see it for sure. There's a UA chef class? Not official UA. Are you talking about like Reddit UA? Or is it official UA? Oh my gosh. The blesses for Danny in the backer. That's funny. I'll let her know. Give me a second. She was very excited and said thanks. That was very kind of you. Hey, Decidueye, good to see you. Reddit UI, okay. This is the first game that I've DM'd for, but it's been going on for coming up on 2 years actually now, which is pretty crazy. We meet every week and we play for like 2.5 to 3.5 hour sessions. So we're not very far. I think they're level 7. They're coming up on level 8. Well, yeah, when we started, we meet every Tuesday. When I started, I had like 8 people that I reached out to and said, "Hey, would you be interested in playing?" And they all said yes. And then we put like one of those, I think it was like a doodle poll, if I remember correctly, like a doodle thingamajiggy, and we figured out like what day each week that we could reliably be available for. And the day that worked out for most of us was Tuesday. So everybody else who couldn't make it, was unfortunately unable to join the game. But like from the very start, I made it abundantly clear that I did not want it to be like a, hey, when are you guys free next? This is a Tuesday thing. We're doing it Tuesday. Be free Tuesday. Tuesday. Like, end of story. And like over the past 2 years, we've picked up we've picked up a player. Is that true? Has it been one? Is it one player? One player, kind of 2. But yeah, it's been fairly consistent. Sometimes the saddlebag makes it more complex if I'm like really behind schedule or if I'm underwater, like trying to get ahead for things like Saddlebag Year 2. So this month we've met like once, unfortunately, but also like when you have more people, it gets harder and harder to coordinate. You're part of 4 campaigns, Dom. That's so many. I would definitely like to be a player again someday, though. And I think that I am. At some point in the near-ish future. And that'll be a lot of fun. DMing is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I'm really terrible at prep. That's awesome, Brian. That's really great. Yeah, like consistent games are like where it's at. Seven games a week, Alex? Wait, offer for what, Sean? 1 every day. Yeah, I mean, like, like I'm bad at preparing for like group outcomes, or like I'm very much like a fly by the seat of the pants guy. I don't really know how to design a dungeon. Like I can do it passively, like, but I don't know. I think what I'm going to start doing actually is running like the modules that we've been creating as part of like these kind of collaborative releases. We'll see how it goes. Oops. Alan Nisho, no. Oh, Dom, I'm glad you think so. I'm really hoping that people like them. I think they're gonna be like kind of fun, easy to add characters that are hopefully like interesting, and give you kind of like ideas on items that you can just kind of like ways to integrate items to your campaign from the Saddlebag using their little loot tables. And I think that Paperforge is going to start doing something similar. I was talking to him about it, and he seemed interested because he wanted to know if I wanted to use his characters, and I was because he was doing like really well rendered things for fun. And like I said earlier in the stream, like guys, they're so good. Guys, they're so good. And like one of the reasons why I started the Saddlebag in the first place was just so I could get better at illustration anyway. So I feel as though, you know, this is a natural progression or like a step, right? For me to kind of do these characters, and I'm just hoping that I can like reach the point as those guys, and I think I can, but not without, you know, the proper amount of work. So the good news is that we've gotten all of our vertebrae in. The bad news is I have to go back through them again and add in our little wingies. Now let me actually take a look at this guy again. Okay, so the actual like the wingy bits are mostly aligned, but they're not necessarily. So I don't have to be too perfect about it. Save. Alrighty, new layer. Brian, okay. The hat has a feather, Brian. I'll give you that. The hat has a feather. Yes, Seth, the first saddle buddy or baddie will be added on, what's that date? On November 10th. So not this weekend, but the next. Sunday, November 10th. Will be the first one. All right, Brian. Have a good night. Alrighty. Let's make some. I don't want to draw these. I mean, again, I don't have to get too precious with it. Man, that's so gross. Okay. Double check this real quick. Looking at spines. Okay. So I'm going to go through here first like this. I'm just going to draw them in like that. And then we're going to come back through again and give them more detail. Yeah, Dom, it's in the workshop channel. You have to scroll back up for it a bit, but it's in there. Oh, really, Seth? That's awesome. Make sure to let me know how that goes. I love to hear how those, how much fun they are. And you can tag Dave in it too, or anybody else who helped with it. So you can kind of see how these are lining up like that. And I'm gonna have these start kind of like rolling off to the side, to the back here. Okay, so then let's say that there's a rolling around here. You can start singing again here. Just do like a Control F in the workshop channel. It's there. It was like I think 2 weeks ago. This needs to get split. This is a chonky vertebra. Yeah, I don't know how you missed it, Dom. Whistle Hunter. Come on. Hush. And obviously. I'm just going to purge that comment, actually. The item's not out yet. It's okay. It's okay, dude. It's fine. Oh, really, Dom? Huh. I believe that. You could do like Control F in the workshop channel, Saddlebag, or even like the Griffon Saddlebag. From Griffon, and that should help. If you can search, I'm not sure if you can, but you might be able to. If try searching for the Griffon Saddlebag with 2 asterisks on either side of it, because I would have bolded it, because that was the name. Okay, so these are kind of wrapping around here. On this far side, I'm going to beef up this guy right here. These are on the back side. We'll say they appear right about here again. Ah, thanks, Alanisha. Good, I'm glad that it worked. Yeah, so over 2 weeks ago. Take a quick zoom out here. Take a look here. Pretty good. I mean, like, these are all, like, ugly up close, but, you know, we'll be able to go back in and make them nice and pretty, or prettier, you know? Again, from a view like this, that's more than enough. Like, once we touch them up. Yeah, neat. And then I'll be able to put, like, the gory bits and the blood dripping and blah, blah. And the yes, and like the red shadowy wafting thing, yeah. Cool. Back to the top. Oh, hey, I'm getting added on Discord. Who's adding me? Oh. No one in particular. Speaking, Gaming Mistress. Speaking of that link you just posted in Discord, or that image, I kind of feel as though I should watch that show. That's what was that? That was Castlevania, I think, like the Netflix one. Like it looked really well made. Have any of you guys seen it? I I stayed up later than I should last night, catching up on My Hero Academia, and I admittedly have historically listened to it or watched it in dub, but it's taking them forever to get the dubs up on Hulu, and I'm not gonna wait. So I watched the first 3 episodes in sub. It's like the dubs are really good, so I haven't felt the need. But yeah, so I could use another anime. Good. I'm glad you like it, Alanisha. I am proud of it, and I'm looking forward to hearing how people use it and enjoy it, integrate it. It is good. I will watch it then. I never played any of the games. Like Metroidvania has never really been a genre for me. When they first came out, like the mapping system for it was too complicated and frustrating for me. To really give it much mind. I could probably enjoyed it now. But I mean, yeah, the animation and like the show looked really well made. I was curious about them. How do we on time? Only 9:15. We're doing all right. Okay, good to know, Darian. Yeah, I can completely relate to that, Alanisha. My focus shifts really quickly if it's new content. If I can force myself to only listen to it, I can do okay. I can kind of follow along like that. I can split my attention like that. But if it's like a show and the TV is within watching distance, I'm a goner. I cannot not look at, like moving pictures. I'm a toddler in that regard. Which now that I'm saying that, I really should just like start listening to audiobooks. Like, I really wish that they just like, I wish that Spotify had audiobooks. I think that would be such a smart move. Like, they already do podcasts. I would gladly increase my subscription to be able to pay for audiobooks. Because I'm not really that interested in having like another subscription plan for just audiobooks on like another platform. It's coming up on the time of night that Satahiko normally shows up. Jericho. Just a quick gauge of chat. Is the shift to Monday going to affect any of you guys? Any of you watching? The next stream after this is going to be the 17th. The 17th of no, sorry, that's wrong. The 18th of November is going to be the next show. Voting on item direction would be on Sunday, the same time that the Saddle Buddy comes out. Yeah, basically, so Tuesday to Wednesday turns into Sunday, Monday. Get your work week started out right. Monday's great. Yeah, Dom, I think that like we could assume that it would be in the center. It'd be like protected by the bone. Monday's great. Oh, okay. Good to know, Bradley. Yeah, I hope that Mondays work out for people. I think it's gonna be nice. Means that and then it gets posted on Tuesday. The item gets posted to Reddit on Tuesday, and then it'll be posted to everywhere else the following Monday. So, so on the day that you're voting for the next item, the previous one would be added to the saddlebag. So which I thought was like, you know, good timing. I liked that. Yeah. That'll hopefully give me a little bit extra time on Tuesdays, if nothing else is on fire, to prep for D&D that evening. This is Sonic. It sounded like a Mega Man X track remix. By wrestling, really? Do bar trivia on Wednesdays? Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm excited to see you guys excited about Mondays. This is great. I kind of originally just chose Wednesdays because it sounded good with Workshop. Like Workshop Wednesdays, it sounded good. I didn't really have like a preference on which day of the week it was, other than that I couldn't do Tuesdays, obviously, for D&D. And people would be doing other things on Fridays probably. Yeah, so I'm glad that people are excited about Mondays. It's gonna work out well, I think, for everybody. Darian, the streams are moving to Monday nights instead of Wednesdays, starting in the new saddle year. The next stream after this one will be, what did I say? November 18th? I think it is. Yeah, the 18th. Oh, nice, Alanisha. I mean, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry that you had to leave for that, but yeah, I'm excited to be able to hopefully provide for you. I also feel as though I should be leaning more into the fact that you can that item and time have the same letters. So I'm kind of thinking about like Monday night item time, but that sounds like a little bit a little cheesy. So at least initially it's still gonna just be like the Elite Workshop, right? It's gonna be Monday nights instead of Wednesday. So. Cool, Darian. Time item, yeah. Timey-wimey. So, like I said earlier, we don't have to get too precious with these, just because nobody's going to zoom in like this. And they're going to be partially obscured by bits of gore in some cases anyway. Because you're all gross. Are any of you dressing up for Halloween tomorrow? I am not. Although I know that if you go to Chipotle, if you're here in the States, I think that Chipotle is only a States only thing. You can get a burrito for $4 and some change, between 3 and 10. if you go in costume. So if you've already got a costume, or you have a costume from a previous year, and you want a burrito, go to Chipotle in costume tomorrow. I never played Bloodborne, and I've played through a little bit of Dark Souls 3. Not very much. But like, they're good games. It's like, you know, very punishing, kind of slow. I know the Bloodborne's faster, but the aesthetic is like super not me. Go figure, right? This guy's missing one. Also, this music is all remixed from Sonic games, by the way. Oh no, your office is on top of a Chipotle? That is dangerous. I love Chipotle. Like that's my go-to meal if I've got nothing else here and I'm in a hurry, or I just kind of like I want to get away from the computer for a bit. I'll go to Chipotle, get like an $8 and $9 with tax burrito bowl that'll last me for 2 meals. Like, it's such a cost-effective way to eat. I love it. You're saying about Elton John? Cool. I mean, like, I have and do occasionally eat a burrito bowl as a single meal, but you can very easily split it in 2 and have it as 2 meals. Especially if you know what to order too. If you get like extras of things, like within their limits where you don't have to pay extra. Like you get extra lettuce, you get both kinds of rice. You get I get the fajitas in mine too, in addition to the meat. I'll get steak typically. And you can ask them for 2 extra tortillas. So when you get it, you can just make one burrito, and then save the other tortilla and the bowl for later. And you make a second tortilla later, second burrito later. The last time that I had the full bowl as a single meal, I had like a tryptophan coma for like 2 hours. I couldn't move. Which is funny, because I don't get those often. If I eat, you know, like even at Thanksgiving, I don't really get those. Maybe it's an age thing now. Maybe I'll start getting those. Who knows? But Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, so I'm excited for November. I love Thanksgiving. Dom, have you had it with the corn salsa? I really like that corn salsa. It is super good, and I think it goes overlooked a lot. Yeah, Dom, definitely. I typically order online and then just go pick it up because I do not want to stand in line. Also, especially because I typically have Pepper with me, and she does not like being left in the car if she can't see me. So I don't want to keep her waiting. Even I remember this song. I was never a big Sonic guy. Okay. Yikers, man. All right, let's make this let's make this bone devilly tip. is so gross. That looks so phallic too. Like red rockety. It's pretty gross. Not gonna lie. I never played this. Okay, so this is a remix from Sonic Mania, which is a really good Sonic game. That if I were to play a Sonic game, I'd play that one, because I don't really trust Sega, but I know that this game was made by by big time Sonic fans, so I trust this one. It is a devil. That's so gross. Man, that is so gross. Wow. Alrighty. And then knowing Bones, there's probably some kind of like hole there that some kind of fictional thing would connect to. Have any of you guys been watching Sword Art Online Alicization? I have been. I've been enjoying it. I'm glad that the second season is out now. And I think this is like the last season? I mean, about time, right? Or is there one more? And that is as it's like such a weeb thing to talk about that show. It's so weeb, but I really enjoy it. Grab this kind of lighter bone color that we had earlier. Oh, sure, yeah. Man, Blood Hunters are so edgy too. That just that really cements it. If you're playing anything as a Kirito character, that it would have to be a Blood Hunter. That's funny. Yeah, I mean it's a really fun show. Like, you can probably skip like all of like the second season of jeez. No, I mean, really the only thing that's really worth watching is like the very first season of the very first like arc. Alicization is fine. Alicization is fine. There are some interesting bits of filler, and in order to kind of really understand why what's happening is happening, you have to watch the second story arc after the first whole thing. And that's like when there are guns involved, but it's fun. I mean, like I was talking about this last week too, but every once in a while, just like watching something that's just stupid is awesome. and it feels great. You know, you just have to put it on and you just turn off your brain and you forget that like you're even there. It's just like, oh yeah, colors. Cool. Yeah, give one of these to a Blood Hunter. You're talking about edge. This is a sick riff. Okay. So, tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna put in multiple holes in here. I'm gonna do this, kind of give him like a bit of like drag holes, I guess, and drag marks. Blood and bone whip. Okay. There might be something with like a vertebra or spine. Like, I think a vertebraker is already something. I think it's like a hammer from a game or something like that. I want to say. Let's tuck our little bone devil guy away. Okay. I'm still gonna worry about the handle last. That's like so incredibly easy in comparison to everything else. Let's go back through here and let's start putting in some gory bits. Let's get on my red. And let's put on. Let's put this on multiply. So this means that if I paint one red line and then another one, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, which is really good for what we're doing right now. Calcium whip. Spinal switch. Otho. I mean, like, do we want to have like vampirism in here? Like Vampirabray? Like, is there something there? Is there something in there with like with vampirism and vertebrae? So we're going to be going back through here again after we finish with this, and we're going to be giving it some extra lighting, because right now this is very red. We're just going to need to darken it up is all. Zoom out on this real quick. It's already too much. Okay. Impaler's Cord. Oh, Vlad the Impaler. Oh yeah, Spinal Cord on its own is kind of clever. Sure, sure, sure. A gauntlet whip? I mean, I don't think it's necessary. This is a whip, and I think that it should be held like one. If you want, like, I don't think that it needs to be like kind of fused with you. Like at that point, it's getting a little bit Dendolin-y. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I'm happy just making this like a regular, like a Spinal Cord whip. Like a little gauntlet. Well, I can tell you that I don't really want to draw a gauntlet, if that answers your question. But also, like, you know, if it retracts into a gauntlet, you have to think about how it stores inside of it, right? And you're not going to store an entire, like, 10-foot long spinal column in your gauntlet. And like at that point, like, you'd have to answer that with, oh, it does it with magic. And like, oh, okay, so it's an extra dimensional space. Like, if you put that inside of a bag of holding, would it explode? Well, no, it's not that kind of extra dimensional space. Well, can I put anything else in it other than the spinal column? Or like, there's like so much, so much you have to answer around that I'd rather not. I think just like letting it be a gross spinal column whip is plenty. I do have a Scorpion whip on my to-do list, so you absolutely can expect like a get over here whip at some point in the future, and it'll be made with like actual Scorpion parts and stuff. Yeah. So I know you guys are like memeing about it right now, but that's like a real thing that I'm going to be doing at some point in the future. It's on my list. I don't want to draw. Yeah, it's honesty. I don't want to draw it. Gauntlets on their own are like, Armor is hard, because like it more than anything else, you really have to think about how it like works mechanically, and that's just that is difficult. And like I'm still practicing it. So I like making gauntlet items, though, just because it is good practice, and I've gotten better at it. How are we looking? Let's zoom out here. Good morning, Jericho. I was half an hour off. Yeah, Jericho, about a half an hour ago, I was saying that it was about time that you showed up. Hell Jericho. Jericho and Hell Jericho. How about that? That's a welcome. Oh yeah, so a reminder for all of you folks in the Discord, or who are also in the Discord, we're going to be doing suggestions a little bit differently in the new saddle year. After I finish catching up with my current list, I'm going to have you guys just vote on 3 items a week, up to 3 items a week, that either are new or have been there for a while that should be added, and let you guys kind of choose 3 items. Because that way, I don't have to be responsible for breaking hearts, and you guys can keep up with them a lot better than I can. Gives you guys a bit of control. I will retain the right to veto things. Not saying that I think I'm going to have to very often. I will say I don't want to do many artifacts, and if I notice like a trend of like artifacts being voted in a lot, I will say no artifacts. Just because like artifacts are so, you know, like nobody ever gets to use them, right? And I need to be as modular as possible with items in the saddlebag, right? Now, like trying to make them as accessible as possible to people. You just have the one. Cool. Yeah, like I'm not worried about it, you guys, because like, yeah, I am very grateful that the community on the Saddlebag is you know what it is and who you know who's involved. So I am not concerned about it. You guys, you guys are all on the level. You know, the 3 items that you suggested that I do for the end of the year here, I think that was like a really perfect exercise in it and like a test bed for it. I think it went great. So happy with it. Like, yeah, really good ratio of like commons to uncommons or you know, commons to legendaries and stuff. I think it was good. Yeah, I really enjoy making uncommons and commons. But like a lot of times with streams like this, it's they're less like mechanically in depth. right? So they're a little bit less interesting. I don't know if we ever made an uncommon. Is that true? Hang on. No, the Pack Bearer Mask might be uncommon because it scales with level and not like as an item. I'm trying to remember. And that was a fucking doozy of a stream. Oh, Dom. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Like commons are so interesting, and like they're just flavorful. They're fun. They're like little bits of candy. But like sometimes it's hard for me to think about common items just because of like mechanically they're kind of limited in like what they can do. They have to be like completely harmless, essentially. Honestly, I'm really surprised that the Cloak of Many Fashions is common, because that cloak can get people out of so many situations. I have found, at least in my game, like the uses for that are crazy. I don't know. I think it's like an upper level common or very low level uncommon. Oh yeah, the Ring of Roses is fun. I like that item, and I think it looks beautiful too. I used a reference for that rose, by the way. I did not draw that completely from my brain. Bagpipes of invisibility? Oh my god. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I might have to make that someday. That's so funny. Yeah, you have to be proficient in bagpipes in order to do it, and like succeed in a performance check. Because the Ring of Invisibility on its own is very rare, I think, with attunement. But like that's so funny, and like the first thing that somebody will do is like, you know, cast like a silence spell in the area as you play. Wait, they're a thing already? Wait, the bagpipes of invisibility are a thing? Invisibility is legendary? Okay. Huh. What is that from? I have never heard of that. Is that an official item? That's so funny. So wait, where are the bagpipes? Like, you said the bagpipes are homebrew, but then you also said that they already exist. Like, oh, like are they a common homebrew item or something? Or like on the homebrew subreddit or something? Sorry, just trying to understand you. Okay, and the Ring of Invisibility is legendary. Yeah, I mean, like, it's so good. So, like, yeah. I can imagine how that item, like, just breaks games. Sean, you can't... I just asked, like, a multi-part question, and you respond with yes, and I have no idea what part of that question you responded yes to. You seen me in a few places? Okay. I still don't know if it's homebrew or official or not. Just do a search. Okay. And it is homebrew. Okay. There was a bit of a delay between you and me, so I'm sorry if there was some miscommunication, like some frustrating miscommunication there. How are we doing here? Yep, still gross. Let's keep going. Oh, you know what we can do? We can add some blood trails in here. Cloak of narration, that's funny. Okay, good, John. Good, Sean. Glad to hear it. Cloak of narration's pretty funny. I like that. You can make, so we can make this gorier. I don't want to make it like unnecessarily gory, but we can definitely add some more blood to this. There would definitely be more blood here on the bottom, though. I think. What is that? Staff. Yes, staff is right. But yeah, like the blood that is on the top though would get sucked down. You can kind of see that. That's a funny idea, Alanisha. Oh no, more gore. There we go. Back down here. Gore stream. Yeah, I mean, you guys are typically way more into like brutal stuff, and I'm more into more like whimsical stuff. Imagine a brutally whimsical item. Yeah, it'd be like yeah, here we go. Here we go. I'll show you. I'll show you a brutally whimsical item. We can do that. Where are you at? Where are you? Sorry, I can't see that. Okay, my eyes are too tired. Where are you at? Oh, okay. I couldn't see it because it was too far down. Here we go. So this is coming out in the new saddle year. Let's just. I'm not gonna keep this, but yeah, like if we like started giving this gore as well. There we go. There you go. Got a smear over here. There you go. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna save that Photoshop. Thank you for asking, though. Thank you, Alanisha. Yeah, I'm happy with that wand too. And yeah, Jericho, yes, that's exactly what it is. It does not emit narwhals, unfortunately. But it's a star wand. Oh no, I messed up my brush size. Go back through here, trim everything up. Let's try that again. Are any of you guys getting oh, good, Sean. Are any of you guys getting or excited about the new Pokemon games coming out next month? Like, it's soon. It's it'll actually be out. We'll be talking about it, I'm sure, the next time that I stream. Because it comes out, I think, on November 16th, if I remember correctly. We'll see if I have time to play it. Although it'll be on a weekend, so I'll actually have some free time. I mean, free time is going to be in quotation marks for me for a while because it's all going to go towards the book. But I mean, luckily I've been kind of like giving myself a head start on the book with the inventory, and like that's been purposeful. So we'll see how it goes. I do have like a kickstart-ish date for the book. It's not as soon as you want it, I'm sure. And I think I mentioned this last week too, but it's very early March. And that's just going to give me time to get everything like as perfect as possible. And what that means is that future books will be able to kind of follow like a similar template and will take less time. And I'll have like legal things figured out, and there's just a whole lot of learning to go on before I put out a book, you know? So got to do that first. But with any free time that I do have, I'll be playing Pokemon at least once through. We'll see if I enjoy it. Pokemon Go. Meteor Swarm. Oh no, staff. Don't leak don't leak the mechanics. Spoiler alert, those are not the mechanics. Alrighty. We've been up and down this spinal column several times already. Just kind of working as we go. But by going up and down like this, we make sure that the style or the detail on one end isn't different than by the time that we reach the other, which is important. Quick zoom out here, take a look at how we're doing. Looking good. I think we can get a little bit more over here. Has anybody been playing or has anybody played Code Vein? Cause I have it on my Steam like wish list for when it goes on sale. That looks like a lot of fun. Like I've watched the playthrough of it through most of it. I've missed like some bosses in some areas, just in between streams that other people that I follow stream. But like the story looks like garbage too, but that's okay. I mean, like the gameplay looks fun. I really enjoy like the kind of build diversity they can get with it. Like that has always been something that I'm attracted to in games. Also, part of the reason why I love D&D so much is just because build diversity is quite literally endless. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about Nier. I know that it's really good, but I haven't played it because it felt a little bit shameless, and like it's kind of like objectification. But I know that it's an excellent game, but I can't take it seriously. And I think I'd feel like dirty if I played it. Or like I'm perpetuating some kind of problem. I kind of feel as though like the for lack of a better phrase, the fan service. I'll call it the fan service. The fan service in Code Vein is like fairly like reasonable. I don't think that it's gratuitous. And you with your character can show as much or as little as you want, you know. If you decide to be able to play a female character. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know the Bayonetta was done by women. That's cool. That's so cool, Darian. I didn't know that. Good for them. Yeah, Bayonetta's a badass bitch. Like, in a good way. Okay. Let's see. I can do some of these here. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so this is pretty gross. Congratulations, everybody. This is pretty gross. Save it. Luckily, the lighting looks pretty good. We'll probably go through and like darken it up in places. Let's take a look at that handle, and then we'll start focusing on the lighting. But like we're making pretty good progress. I think we'll finish this up within the hour for sure. Oh yeah, we have to put on the mist and everything. Yeah, I'm not forgetting that we'll put on the mist. We'll put on the mist. So yeah, why don't we do this handle first? I think that this like guy has it right with just like a wrapped up bone. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, let's just do that. Oops, I still have multiply on. Did any of you ever play Sonic Battle? It's a Game Boy Advance game. I just remembered really enjoying that just from listening to this music. This is not from that game, but I thought it was at first. And I'm glad you like it, Naders. Happy to see you. Welcome. Thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Always happy to see you guys in chat. I've never played Supersonic Racers and I have no interest in it. What's your idea, Dom? Ooh, and Sean. Both got ideas at the same time. I wonder if they're the same. Put in a vial. Okay. That's one with brain smash proficiency. Yeah, Sean, that's pretty close. I mean, the only difference is that like tying the max number of charges to your proficiency levels is a little bit atypical. I think it would make more sense just to have the maximum be 10, because it's a lot easier to balance an item. It makes more sense to balance an item based on like internal limitations as opposed to based on character limitations. There are some exceptions in there, but largely. Okay, so I think that right now we already have like a pretty full item, like mechanically. But the other thing here is that I also have, I think, like 3 whips that have like various grappling mechanics, and I don't want to make another one that does right now. Not because I don't think it's cool. I like the idea of like impaling, somebody with the attack. We might do that with the Scorpion one though, with the Scorpion whip coming up in the new saddle gear, because that makes a lot of sense, like with Scorpion's whole get over here thing. So I'm gonna I'll keep an eye. I'll keep my mind on that. Impaling, but another 50 feet. Oh no. So the reach increases every 5. Every 5 charges that you have. So that would mean that you could increase the reach to a maximum of 20 feet if there were 10 charges. Yeah. I think there's a disconnect there. So yeah, maximum of 20 feet if you have all 10 charges. I mean, yeah, Darian, they're basically the same. We could the only difference is that with the +1, you're going to be hitting more often and getting those charges more often. And I think that's going to be more fun. If you have a +1 whip, it's going to be averaging out to doing the same amount of damage as a +1d4, but you're going to be hitting a bit more often. Now, what Dom was saying about like the vial in there that showed blood level. Why don't we do it this way? I think that's a good idea. How do I want to show this? Okay, let's wrap this in leather. And then we're gonna wrap this in leather, and then we're gonna put on 10 gems on the first 10 vertebrae on the bottom, and then as those get filled up, they'll fill up kind of like the blood pact pendant. Man, you guys are sick. We did that one on stream too. And then as those get filled up, you know how many charges there are, because as when you get one charge, like the first gem will glow red, and then the second and third, and so on. Let me check, and let me see what you posted here. Yeah, and I was thinking something along those lines. Although I was thinking in like little holes, kind of like that would get filled up, Dom. But I think that like gems or something might work well too. Just because that way, especially if we wrap the bone handle in leather, it wouldn't get weird. Yeah, Sean. So yeah, the other mechanic for the charges is that you can consume any number of charges that you want and regain 2 hit points for each one that you consume. So like if you have all 10 charges, as a bonus action, you can regain 20 hit points. That sounds like a cool item though, Darian. I know that a few people have asked me for more like prosthetics. And I really want to make a I keep on forgetting that. Could somebody make a post in like Saddlebag suggestions or even in workshop about making a like a wooden peg leg? I really want to make a wooden peg leg. Since from inside the bone. Yes. Yeah, staff. Yeah, we can do that. Easy, easy, easy. What the hell is this? Is this still spin dash? Oh my goodness. Skip this song, please. Hi. Oh, sorry to bop the microphone there, guys. My apologies. I was gonna say now we're on Zelda and chill. Okay, now let's cover this guy up in leather. Actually, I don't want to make this a layer mask, but I do want this to be on multiply. Oh, give me a second, chat. I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Griff, that leather is getting really far away. Yeah, that's true. Just rotate this a little bit. So I just selected the the bone layer, and I'm just expanding that. We'll say by 10. 10's too much. We're gonna expand it by. We'll expand it by 3. We'll try that. Expand. There it is. There we go. This way we just give the leather a little bit of depth here. I think that they can do that with Warforged, Alanisha. Light source. It's up top. Sean says, so the lighting of the brown, is that actively working on the layer of brown and not the black? Or yeah. Yeah, so what I was doing with that, I was using my brush with a different blending mode on it, and I'll show you that in a second. I was doing it earlier with the blood when I was kind of putting on that gore. And what that does is it allows to, like, whenever I put down a brush stroke, it kind of dynamically reacts to whatever's underneath it. So I was just painting on blacks and whites, and what that was doing it was increasing and decreasing the value or the lighting of it, of those pixels. And then I used the colors that kind of gestural painting got me to make more final permanent colors with and just using a normal brush. So I'm not using just black and white to do it. I'm using black and white with like a layer, not with a blending mode on it. So you can see up here in the top left, it has these various modes on here. So I was using overlay. So if I use overlay and switch to black and white, that's me painting with black. And if I paint it again, it'll kind of compound on top of it. Same thing with white. If I do it once and then twice and then thrice and so on. Now there are different ones too, and I use a fair bit of them. But once I have what I come for, I'll switch back to normal. I'm just kind of and then use the colors that those things brought up. Oh man, you got a piñata? That's cool. That's a good idea for Halloween. Sure, yeah, happy to explain, Sean. Oh, for sure, Darian. So for example, right now I'm painting on top of this on a layer. This layer has blending modes the same way as the brushes do, but this one is set to multiply, and multiply takes all the darkness from what you're painting on top of it, or like from that layer, and applies it to whatever's below it. In this case, it's being locked into like the bone whip layer. So you can see here if I unclip it to that layer, you can see all the different marks outside of it, and I can kind of restrain it. And then if I put this back onto normal, you can see that I'm just painting on with like the existing kind of browns on that bone. But because I have it set to multiply, it darkens it instead. It doesn't distract me now. Happy to answer questions. So now we're going to be going back through here, doing some extra lighting on the various vertebrae. Still doing good on time. gotta log on to Overwatch this week. Try to get that new Sombra skin. It's so good. I really enjoy playing Sombra too, so I have to go and play her. I admittedly play just like mostly in the arcade and hang out there because the more organized game modes kind of make me nervous. But I really enjoy Sombra. You know, Outer Worlds is not my game. I don't care for Fallout, and that game is very Fallout-esque. So if you like Fallout, you're gonna love Outer Worlds, but it is not for me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if you liked Fallout, then yeah, it's totally your bag. So for more reference here, to get this kind of like lighting effect that I'm doing, and kind of making it look more round, I'm painting with just black, but I have my brush mode set to soft light. And soft light's kind of like overlay, which is what I was using before, but it's less aggressive with how it pushes colors. And because with brush modes you can kind of you can keep on like layering, like painting and painting and painting and compounding it. It's really gentle and it's good with getting lighting right. I mostly play Ana or Sombra or I always forget her name. The centaur, the robot centaur. I forget her name. It starts with an O. I always forget it. I play as her too. If I'm playing in like organized play, I'll play her typically. And I'm okay at her, and I need to get better, but. So like I said, overlays is really aggressive with the colors, and I can show you it side by side here. So here, this is me using soft light right now to get these kinds of colors and lighting effects. If I switch this to overlay, I'm going to be using the just black and white again, and I'm going to be doing it the exact same way. You can see how like that starts to distort the color. It makes it darker first of all, but it also distorts it into more of like a yellowish. And then if I use it again with white instead to brighten it back up, it pushes it even further towards that orange color. That's the difference between the two brush modes. So they both definitely have their place. Just overlay is a lot more aggressive. Orisa, yeah, thank you. I always forget that name. There is a common item. It's like, I think it's called a Veteran's Cane. That's a common item in Xanathars. That is a sword, but it looks like a cane. But yeah, I could totally make a cane. I think that makes sense. And I'll use any excuse to make more rods because I don't have enough anyway. And they're weird. Like a rod as a type of item is strange. I mean, I get it. But it is like, it's so arguably just a wondrous item. Oh, really, Jericho? That's funny. Yeah, I could do a couple more war picks too, for sure. I've also been getting good at or I guess better at Soldier 76, but he's not too hard to get decent at. Oh, and Junkrat. I enjoy Junkrat. And I want to be good at Tracer. I have a hard time aiming at Tracer just because her gameplay is so fast. And it's like it's so bouncy, you know, that it's hard for me to like get a steady aim on her. Yeah, Call of Duty. Cool, Steph. Soldier 76 is the one they have in the tutorial. He plays like a lot of classic shooters. Hold down shift to run, a good like automatic weapon, and an alt click to shoot some like a tight spiral of missiles. His ultimate is aiming easy mode. Okay. All right, now let's put those gems in here. Putting in some extra lighting here on top of the bone just kind of like separated us a bit more visually from the spine. And you are hyper amped on that shadow mist. It is very funny to me. Safe. Alrighty, gems. Fight maker. Yeah, the gauntlet. Yeah, okay. Should we do gems or should we do runes? Yeah, gems or runes on the bottom 10 vertebrae. Runes. Okay. All right, that's vocal majority. I'm gonna start with black right now. I'm gonna turn off my opacity sensitivity, put on my size sensitivity instead. Yeah, I'm freestyling this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't happen to know like vampiric gems or runes. Is that 7? 7. 8. 9. 10. All right. Now, to make these runes look like they're etched in, we're gonna turn down the fill. Fill is different than opacity. So the difference here, I'll show you. So I can apply a color to this. In this case, we're just for the sake of the argument or for the demonstration. Actually, just to make this more readable. Blue. All right. Now, if I go back over to here and I turn the opacity down, that disappears because like the entire layer goes dark. Fill is different. Fill keeps like the shape of the pixels there. In this case, like the shape of the runes, but it reduces. It makes them more and more invisible. But that means that layer effects like this color stay in place. So I have the fill all the way to 0. So if we turned off the color, you can't see the runes anymore. But if you turned back on the color, because of the fill is 0, the pixels are still there. So all the layer effects still like lay on top of these invisible pixels. So we're gonna do the same thing here, but instead of color like this, although we might come back to it, I'm gonna do a bevel and emboss, and we're gonna make it be inward. Inner bevel. There we go. Yeah, the runes are gonna glow red for sure. I think there are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10. Just the ones up here are a little bit rotated. So what I did there is I offset a drop shadow, which you could frequently. I mean, the intention of it is that you use it to to put shadows behind things. But in this case, we can use it as kind of a more directional glow. And I wanted to have this kind of effect that the glow was emanating off these runes, right? So I changed the angle and I set the distance so that the glow would be up, here, and then I set the blur of it to kind of make it blurry. If I turn down the blur, it's at 6 right now. If I turn down the blur to 0, you can see exactly where they are, right? Let's put that back up to 6. I'm actually gonna do another one of these. Reduce the distance. Set this to overlay. Reduce this a little bit. All right. I really just wanted to meme on you, Darian, and just say that we were done, and just completely ignore the mist. All right, let's put on this mist. I have some brushes that make like clouds and mists pretty easy, so we're gonna use those. I'm just gonna double check your message on Discord to make sure I'm getting it right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Just trying to get these clouds looking right. I don't want to do the entire thing because otherwise that's just going to be overwhelming. Now I'm going to add another cloud layer. I'm going to put it on top of everything. Yeah, less is more, exactly. And I don't want to cover up much of this, but I do want to show that the mist has volume. Okay, I'm not going to erase things here. I'm going to mask it instead, just so I can undo things if I need to. Oops. There. Peg leg posted, all right. There, that's better. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put all of these things into a single group, like this. I was gonna save it. I'm gonna put my brush back onto a normal round. And we're gonna do some last minute lighting stuff. So I'm putting my brush or my layer here to overlay. Actually, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna duplicate the duplicate this. We're just gonna flatten it. So right now this is just a single layer, but we have our backup if we need it. Let me do that just because Photoshop has an easier time handling handling stuff like this with single layers as opposed to like groups of them. These kind of lighting adjustments. Thanks for posting that, by the way, Staff. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that peg legs are like a really ripe opportunity. Hell, we could even make peg legs rods. Like that sounds cool. Making a peg leg into a rod. That sounds pretty neat. That's safe. One more thing. We're gonna put another color layer on top of here. Color is different than other things. Color essentially just changes the color of things. So like that, right? It keeps the value, the blacks and like the lights and darknesses, but it changes the hue of things to a certain color. I also actually want to apply a little more darkness down here. That looks good. That looks good. That looks really good, actually. I like that yellow. Kind of yellow, like the kind of yellowish green effect that we have there on the tip like that. I like that a lot. Let's take that. Bring it back over here. Using that same kind of yellowish green color that we just snagged from the tip. Painting it on in bits and pieces here. Just kind of give the bones a bit more of like a mottled yellow look. And because the runes are emitting this kind of reddish glow, let's actually go back over here to our overlay layer, and we're just going to paint on some like, let's try pink actually. Pink is going to do it. Is that going to do the trick? No. Light red? That's not light red. There we go. Let's try that. Now it'll kind of draw some more attention to them. I'm going to apply this kind of glow down here to the top of the bone here. Just a big. Man, I wish I had an extra arm. I would love to have multiple arms, like multiple sets of arms. Like I want like another 2. I want to go full Machamp, you know, like give me more arms. That's what I want so bad. Someday. Go Doc Ock and stuff. Sounds awesome. Another overlay layer. That was too far. Maybe this should be on soft light instead. Yeah. This is Mega Man. Yeah. Yeah, something like a 6-armed Griffon, exactly. Yeah. Belt of Prehensile Tail. Is that another homebrew item that I haven't heard of? Okay, now let's make a color layer here. What I'll typically do with these items is I'll grab this blue here, and I'll although because this is a bit more of like a demonic kind of item, I'll start applying this kind of blue color just to kind of get some extra colored lighting in it, like this. But because this is more demonic, I'm going to invert it to red. That doesn't look that good. I like the blue. Gives it a bit like some contrast with the color. Okay, So last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make some background layers. Yeah, let's actually keep those over here. I'm not sure if it needs the blue. Or if it does, just like a very little bit. Got it. Yeah, I've also got the I've got like an OTO cloak that does kind of something similar. I mean, it doesn't give you a tail, but it gives you like an extra like tentacle thing. Finding the right spot for this. That's pretty good. Let's rotate it. Yeah, there you go. Last thing we gotta do. This does not need another layer on top of it. Okay, save it. We're gonna reopen. We're actually just gonna open the doesn't matter. We're just gonna open up this item. This is fine. We just need the text layer anyway. Push to the front. So what are we calling this, guys? Are we calling this spinal cord? What are we calling this? Lash is good. I like lash. I don't think that sanguine is the right word. But is sanguine really the right word? Optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Oh, but it also means blood red. Got it. It's a blood red color. Huh. Interesting. I have never heard it used that way. I haven't dropped any frames. And YouTube says that I'm still okay, Dom. I think it's on your end, for once, actually. Oh no. Okay. Okay. It's okay now? Alright. Is there anything we can do with like a play on words with Spinal Tap? Like spinal I don't want to say like Spinal Trap, but like actually, tap might actually make sense because you tap it for the health. Spinal slash. How about cord cutter? How about cord cutter? Oh yeah, movie too. Yeah. Does not absorb souls. Ooh, Vampire is interesting. Is that too like punny? Is that treading a bit of a line? I'm fine with Vampire if you don't think that it's like too tongue in cheek. This is true. So is Spinal Cord. Well, the good news is that this is going to be coming out on the 3rd. This is true. Yeah, Vampire is like fairly distinct, descriptive. It's also kind of fun to say Vampire. Yeah, Alinisha, I'm the same way. Don't worry. So the good news is that if any of you think of a better name, let me know. We'll talk about it in the Elite Heroes chat. So here, let me post this to Discord. If you guys aren't already on Discord, get on Discord. We're hanging out here all the time anyway. It's a great way to get in touch with me, ask me questions, know the community. Sure. Go for it, Sean. That sounds great. All right, so that's posted, guys. So we did pretty well for our time. 3 hours and 45 minutes on this. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Hanging out with 11 of you guys tonight. I know, almost 4 hours into it. So that's awesome. This is the last stream before the end of the Saddlebag year, which is crazy. Like it's coming on 365 days, so fast. But yeah, thank you guys for being here, for being a part of it. You guys are my heroes. Thank you for letting me do this for a living. It is beyond a pleasure. It is an honor. So thank you guys so much. Well, thank you so much, Sean. I'm happy to have you here. Hope to see you next week too, or next week. On the like I said earlier in the stream, if you missed it, the next stream will be on November 18th. I am out next week for the stream, and the following week I'll be one of them I'll be in an airplane. The other one I will be returning on an airplane. So I can't make it until the next time that I stream, which will be the 18th. it's going to be a Monday. In the new saddle year, you're going to be voting on items on Sundays, and then or voting on directions on Sundays, and then items on Mondays. So kind of start off your work week with that. You guys are so nice to me. Well, with that, it was a pleasure. I love hanging out with you guys, and like I love when you guys are chatting, we're interacting, we're talking. It's great asking questions. So, great talks tonight, great conversations, great people. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks. And I mean, obviously sooner on Discord. So until then, heroes, keep on adventuring. I'll see you next time. Have a good night.